Hi, and welcome to our presentations. Today we would like to deliver materials that regarding to the impact of coronavirus pandemic into global supply chain management. So, we are a group of 5 people from Bali State Polytechnic at International Business Management, especially in business department. But before we go into the materials, let us to introduce ourselves first.
My name is Maria Sinta, number 5.
My name is Usha Jayanti, number 8.
My name Putu Anugerah Ananta, number 12.
My name is Komalasari, number 15.
And last but not least, my name is Putu Arista Darma Yasa, number 21. Okay, so here are the questions. How does global supply chain management manage in the risk and disruptions of the COVID-19 outbreak pandemic? So, we had divided our material into 2 main topics, which is problem and solutions. So, without any further ado, here we go.
We analyze the problem by 5W and 1H. The first is what is the problem, and then when is the problem identified, and then where is the problem exist, and then who get the impact, why is the problem happen, and the last is how the problem impact. Okay, let me start with the first analyze is about what the problem. Nowadays, all the companies in entire world are hit by that black swan, known as COVID-19 pandemic. It took the complete surprise and forced many business factors to remodel their strategy in order to preserve their business sustainable. And the second analysis is when the problem identified. The coronavirus identified firstly in Wuhan, the capital of central China's Hubei province, on December 31, 2019. The pandemic spread around the world until now. For more than 1 year, it gave huge impact to business globally, especially to global supply itself. Okay, next we'll continue by my friends.
Well, the next is where is the problem exists. Despite significant efforts to contain the spread of the virus, including a travel ban to and from 8 cities in Hubei province, COVID-19 has already spread globally. Over 189 countries are now reporting positive cases, with a significant growing number of positive cases in South Korea, Italy, Japan, and Iran. Over 10% of the positive cases and growing are now outside China, putting other communities, ecosystem, and supply chain at risk. Given the characteristics of the virus and the global movement of people, and containment is exceptionally difficult. The next is who get the impact. As we know all this time, coronavirus has impacted all sectors globally, like economic, political, social, tourism, and many sectors are hit by this unpredictable accident. But something for sure, the company need to be agile. They are the one who got a big impact by the virus, need to change their strategy mainly in supply chain management. Either the workflow, cost, or something else which previously doing by overseas are now restricted.
And then now we talk about why is this problem happen. This problem began with the COVID-19 virus appeared and spread in the people of Wuhan, China in 2019. The transmission of this virus took place very quickly and more people were infected with this virus. This problem occurs because where there is a reduction of outdoor activities, so the economic activity is also reduced, especially in global supply chain management, where activities require work order to send the supply. This phenomenon affects every sector of life in China, especially the business sector. Many companies have experienced a decline in revenue as a result of policies in circulation in an effort to cut the spread of this coronavirus. In addition, Chinese companies that have cooperative relationship with companies from other countries experience problem because the spread of this virus is not only in China but also infect other countries. And next, we talk about how the problem impact. In the short term, however, the consumer sector, which contributes the most to the economic growth, had been the one that hurt the most. In the first half of last year, catering, retail, travel service. All experience tremendous cash flow pressure due to declining sales and high fixed costs. And the shortfall in cycle consumption will not be made up after the epidemic. Over the past year, we have seen many high-profile consumer companies downgrade earning expectation due to the COVID-19 and reduce consumer demand in China. While COVID-19 may be the catalyst for companies to revisit their global supply chain strategy and accelerate the adoption of digital supply network models and capabilities, short-term action need to be made to respond to the immediate challenge.
So, what is the best solutions? COVID-19 forces many companies and entire industries to rethink and transform their global supply chain model. So how can organizations respond to the immediate change? So I divided into three types. First is for companies that operate or have business relationship with China and another impacted countries. Steps may include educate employees on COVID-19 symptoms and preventions. Second is restrict non-essential travel and promote flexibility working arrangements. And next is focus on the cash flows and etc. For companies that purchase, distribute or source from suppliers in China and other impacted countries, steps might include focus on Tier 1 supplier risks. Second is update inventory policies and planning parameters. Third is focus on production scheduling. And next is conduct global scenario planning, etc. Third is for companies that sell products or commodities to China and other impacted countries. Steps may include understand the demand impacted specific to your business. Next is open channels of communication with key consumer. And the last one is conduct global scenario planning.
Okay, so the next maturity is looking at the imperative for a new supply chain model. A decades-long focus on supply chain is optimization to minimize costs, reduce inventories, and drive up asset utilization has to remove buffers and flexibility to absorb disruptions. And COVID-19 illustrates that many companies are not fully aware of the vulnerability of their supply chain relationship to global shock. Fortunately, new supply chain technologies are emerging that dramatically improve visibility across the end-to-end supply chain and support companies' ability to resist such shocks. The traditional linear supply chain model is transforming into digital supply network, or DS&S, where functional silos are broken down and organizations become connected to their complete supply network to enable end-to-end visibility, collaboration, agility, and optimizations.
So, from this presentation, the conclusion is, over the past year, we have seen many high-profile consumer companies downgrade earning expectations due to COVID-19 and reduced consumer demand in China. While COVID-19 may be the catalyst for companies to revisit their global supply chain strategy and accelerate the adoption of digital supply network models and capabilities, short-term action need to be made to respond to the immediate challenge. COVID-19 or being the black swan event that finally forced many companies and entire industries to rethink and transform their global supply chain model. A decades-long focus on supply chain optimization to minimize costs, reduce inventories, and drive up asset utilization has removed buffers and flexibility to absorb disruption. And COVID-19 illustrates that many companies are not fully aware of the vulnerability of their supply chain relationship to global shocks. And this material of presentation we got from this reference.
So that's all from us. At least we will say
thank you and bye.